Honkai Star Rail is arguably one of, if not the biggest hit of the year, both in terms of gacha games and gaming overall. But there is one game out there that actually looks to be garnering steam at a rate faster than Honkai Star Rail did, and could potentially surpass Honkai Star Rail in terms of anticipation, in terms of new downloads, earnings, and could simultaneously launch Hoyo to entirely new heights. Yes, Hoyo, because as of July 25th, Zenless Zone Zero has received over 10 million pre-registered players. $10 million pre-registered players is already a phenomenal number given the game is still months, if not a year away from launching. For those of you that don't recall, Tower of Fantasy, leading up to its launch, had 4 million pre-registered players globally. Nikkei, which has actually gone on to surpass Tower of Fantasy in terms of players, in terms of revenue, every single month since it launched, had 2.5 million pre-registered players. But Honkai Star Rail, for reference, in China, had over 21 million pre-registered players interested in playing this game, but beyond that, had over 10 million players pre-registered globally. This is a cumulative total of 31 million interested players. And as of a couple days ago, Zenless Zone Zero is almost halfway to the hype and anticipation that Honkai Star Rail was at. Honkai Star Rail has been a monolithic success thus far, having earned over $700 million worldwide in China, globally, across PC, Android, and iOS. And Zenless Zone Zero looks like it could compete with the milestones that Honkai Star Rail set and broke, and the achievements that players thought it would likely retain for years to come. This was confirmed over on the official Zenless Zone Zero Weibo page. But before we talk about that, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to cover videos like this every single day. The number of pre-orders or pre-registrations on all platforms, and this is actually translated from Chinese to English, the number of pre-registrations on all platforms, Zenless Zone Zero, has reached 10 million. Thank you for the love and support of every citizen and friend. New Eridu is also looking forward to your stay. They're doing a giveaway where they're sending out 100 stands of the game with, I guess, this. I'm not entirely sure what a stand is. Maybe like a poster or something. Now, I actually just did a video on my MMObyte channel. I've done various different videos on my MMObyte channel and on my Stix channel where I've showcased the game in various forms. Most recently, I was actually flown out with Mrs. Stix to the Zenless Zone Zero booth where I got to play and she got to play the most recent test phase. And we had our gameplay on the big screen. So if we sucked, everybody got to see us sucking. Everybody got to see us failing. Everybody got to see how bad we were playing the game. And admittedly, this game was so much more fun than I had expected it to be. Genshin Impact is an open world anime RPG. Honkai Star Rail is a segregated world turn-based RPG. Zenless Zone Zero is an instanced world action RPG. So it's somewhere between Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact's world, kind of reminiscent of something like Dungeon Fighter Online or Soul Worker Online or PSO2. The combat felt so fluid, so fast, and so flashy. Much better, I think, than Genshin Impact. Genshin's is more precise and more focused on elemental interactions. Zenless Zone Zero was just about hitting things as hard and fast as you could. And there were a lot of little intricate details that I probably missed because we only had one single fight that we could do, which was admittedly a very difficult boss fight on hard, and a little bit of the story. Otherwise, we were mostly just going through the menus and reading the skills and looking at the various different character profiles. The characters are stellar, by the way, look absolutely incredible. But there were a lot of intricacies that are present in the game that weren't elaborated on or explained because we didn't get to play the beginning. We didn't get to play the tutorials that explained all of these things. And these will be things that we actually get to touch on and get to experience once the game launches or during additional beta tests. And yeah, that was equally as distracting live. And this is going to be a phenomenal hit. The fact that this is already almost halfway to the number of pre-registrations as Honkai Star Rail is something that I never expected. But due to the success of Star Rail, it looks like everything that Hoyo is working on and will not only develop but also publish is going to be an even bigger success than the game before it. This is setting an entirely new precedent for gaming, for gacha gaming, and for Hoyo itself, and I can't wait to see Zenless do even better than Star Rail and Genshin. I'm just hoping, and I don't think this is going to be the case, but I'm just hoping that Zenless doesn't cannibalize its predecessors. But given this is a completely different kind of game, I don't expect that to happen. Now, if Zenless Zone Zero isn't your kind of game, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. It might be of more interest to you.